Hey book lovers, what is up? This week I got a really great question from a fan about why I decided to do a Goose Girl retelling, so here's the story of how the Goose Girl and the Artificial came to be. Now, once upon a time, I was enlisted to be a part of a fairy tale retelling anthology, and I actually wrote Virtually Sleeping Beauty for that anthology, and we got right down to the wire, and we discovered another author had done something similar. So because I'm a very fast writer, I volunteered to pull that story and write a different story. So I released Virtually Sleeping Beauty on its own, and I desperately needed a new idea but didn't have anything that I wasn't already working on, because you guys know I have a million retellings. And so I was talking to an author friend of mine, and she's told me I would love the story of Goose Girl. Now at that point, I had never heard of Goose Girl, and so I actually had to do some research. Turns out it's a story and a half, guys. If you haven't read the original Goose Girl, make sure you check that out. It's a little violent. There may be some beheading in it. And talking animals. It's an interesting story, and I knew I could twist it up rather interestingly, but I had to do something way different so I wasn't beheading a horse inside of my story. And so I turned mine into a very technological friendly version of the Goose Girl, and her handmaid, who steals her identity, the princess's identity, is actually an artificially intelligent robot. So she looks like a human, she acts like a human, she can think like a human, but she's clearly not human. And so Gosalyn's artificial handmaid steals her identity and poses as the princess while Gosalyn has to pose as an artificially intelligent servant. And so they go on a mission to get a treaty with a foreign kingdom, and they have to kind of figure out how to stop this because the foreign king and foreign prince don't know what's happening, but Gosalyn is being threatened because someone is controlling her artificial and is holding her mother hostage, and it's just a very interesting story. And don't worry, I don't behead any animals. There is a robot involved, but there's an interesting way of handling that. So you gotta make sure you check out the Goose Girl and the Artificial. It is a very techie, sci-fi friendly twist to the Goose Girl story. And I have my friend Elle Belmont, who was my co-host at Young Adult Edition, to thank for introducing me to the Goose Girl tale. And that is the story of how the Goose Girl and the Artificial came to be. Now, if you've got more questions about any of my books, I would love for you to drop them down below. And if you're loving the Goose Girl theme, type I love Goose Girl down below. Or if you've never heard of Goose Girl, say I'm new to Goose Girl down in the comments below so I know where you stand on this one, and then check out my book, which is available right now. Speaking of things that are available right now, world portals are now open on my website. They've been updated, made over. There's some really cool content out there, and I hope you guys will check it out. KMRobinsonBooks.com. You can see world portals for all of my 1,000,001 different books, including all of my retellings, my dystopians, my sci-fi, my fantasy, and my mermaid books. Oh, and my steampunk books. There's so many of them, guys. Make sure you go check that out because it's lots of fun, and there's some really cool new features over there I would love for you to see as well. If you got those questions about any of my other books, go ahead and hit me up. By the way, I've also given you some really cool book recommendations recently that have nothing to do with my books and a little bit to do with my books. Make sure you check those out if you are a fan of Divergent, of Caraval, of Cinderella stories, and even of Peter Pan stories. I've been dropping all the good things over there on my YouTube channel. Hit videos.kmrobinsonbooks.com for more, and hit the subscribe and notification bell if you haven't already, because in the next video, I'm answering a question about one of my fan favorite books. Make sure you check it out. It's going to be really, really good. And I can't wait to see you there. Hit subscribe and notification so you do not miss out, and drop your questions for me down below. Thanks for joining me, KM Robinson, KMRobinsonBooks.com. I'll see you next time.